Psychology reveals something most people miss. Some children never had a childhood to lose. They didn't rebel, didn't play, didn't break rules. They were the responsible one, the calm one, the one everyone could count on. But here's what neuroscience shows. Their brain was making choices a child's brain shouldn't have to make. And those early adaptations shaped everything that came after. This is the psychology of invisible parentification. 1. The emotional translator. Children who grow up too fast become experts at reading rooms. They learn to detect tension before it escalates. They mediate conflicts. They calm chaos. Psychologists identify this as emotional parentification, when a child becomes the regulator of adult emotions. They weren't choosing maturity. Their nervous system was choosing survival. And the cost? They never learned that other people could handle their own feelings. So they still do it. Reading emotions, managing moods, translating tension, even when no one asked them to. 2. Conditional worthiness. Attachment research shows something devastating. When love feels earned through usefulness, children internalize a belief. I matter because I'm helpful. Not because they exist, because they perform. As adults, they struggle with rest. They feel anxious when not productive. They apologize for basic needs. They can't accept help without guilt. Psychology explains this as conditional self-worth, the belief that their value depends on what they provide, not who they are. They learn to earn love, and they're still trying. 3. The responsibility reflex. Developmental psychology shows that children who took on adult roles early develop what's called hyper-responsibility. If something goes wrong, they feel accountable. If someone's upset, they feel responsible. If there's a problem, they step in, even when it's not theirs to fix. Their brain learned a pattern. Someone needs to hold this together, and it's safer if that someone is me. Years later, they're still the first to volunteer, the last to ask for support, the one who carries weight they were never meant to carry. Not because they want to, because it feels dangerous not to. 4. Stunted play, advanced worry. Here's what makes parentification unique. These children often seem mature, composed, advanced for their age. But trauma research reveals the truth. Parts of their development were accelerated, while others were frozen. They learned to worry about bills, relationships, safety, but they never learned to play without purpose, to be silly without shame, to exist without a role. Their childhood wasn't stolen in one moment. It was traded, piece by piece, for stability that wasn't theirs to maintain. And now, as adults, they're trying to learn what they were never taught, that they're allowed to just be. 5. The loneliness of being strong. Psychology shows that children who become caretakers early often become adults who are surrounded by people, but deeply lonely. Why? Because they learn to show up for others, but never learn to let others show up for them. They're the friend everyone calls in crisis, the family member who handles everything, the partner who stays calm. But beneath that strength is a question they've never been able to answer. If I stop being strong, will anyone stay? They give support easily. Receiving it feels foreign. Vulnerability feels like failure. And closeness, real closeness, requires a trust they were never allowed to build. Psychology doesn't say you're damaged if you grew up this way. It says your nervous system adapted brilliantly to an impossible situation. You learned responsibility before safety, strength before softness, giving before receiving. But here's what healing means. It's not about becoming less capable. It's about learning that you don't have to earn the right to rest. You don't have to prove your worth through usefulness. You don't have to carry everything alone. You were a child who had to grow up too fast, but you're an adult now who's finally allowed to stop. Did you become responsible for things no child should carry? And are you ready to put some of that weight down?